everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coming Up Milhouse. And today we are talking about Season 5, Episode 9, The Last Temptation of Homer. And this episode came out in 1993, which it's a classic episode. So, and Vera is helping us out today.
Knocking over our Homers.
Over today.
That's alright, Vera. You can play with it. Yeah, so Last Temptation of Homer refers to Homer's temptation when he meets Mindy, who is a new hire at the power plant. They have a lot in common, and that's not too good for Homer. He's having a little bit of struggle with that, but we will, I'm sure, talk about that as we go into all of our lines and whatnot. So why don't we kick it off with lines? What is your first line?
If they hire a woman, we won't be able to spit on the floor and take our pants off whenever it gets real hot. And then Homer says something about peeing in the drinking fountain. Not that we've ever done that before, but ew. What about your first line?
Mine is from Mr. Burns, and it is, yes, well, find somebody cheap. It's been a lean year for us. Money fight! And they start throwing wads of money at each other after that. So yeah, I love it.
That's pretty great.
What about 2?
2 is a tough choice, so I'm just gonna go with Grandpa Simpson is chasing Santa's little helper around the house, and he says, "That raccoon stole my lamb chop."
And it's Santa's little helper dog. Oh boy! I had a couple, but I'm gonna go with the giant hand guy.
Okay.
And it's I am tired of all these jokes about my giant hand. The first such incident occurred in 1956. There's this gag where Homer's going to talk to Mindy, and he wrote what he's going to say on his hand. Then it passes by Lenny, and Lenny wrote something to somebody. Right. And then this giant hand guy passes, and he's got like a book written on his hand. And it fades out. Who knows how long he was reading it.
Oh my goodness. Did you have a bonus third quote you want to go with?
Sure, I'll throw the bonus out. So, Mindy and Homer are eating at a Chinese restaurant toward the end of the episode because they won it when they went to a convention. And Homer opens a fortune cookie, and it says, "You will find happiness with a new love," and he gets all upset. Yeah. And then it cuts to these 2 waiters or whatever working in the restaurant, and one says, "Hey, we're out of these new love cookies," and the other says, "Hey, just open the stick with your wife barrel."
That's pretty true.
Hey,
hi, Vincent.
We just got Vincent jumping up and back down.
Sorry, that startled me.
That's all right.
No, I know there were some really good ones. Like at one point, Bart, the side story going on in this is that Bart has to wear platform shoes and have hair gel stuff to help his psoriasis or whatever, and glasses and teeth and all that stuff. And when he gets cured after 2 weeks, he kicks off his giant shoes and they go flying through the Flanders house. And Flanders says, "Kids, did anyone pray for giant shoes?" And then one of the boys, Rod,
I think it's Rod, yeah,
was like, "Yes, I did." So
okay. Doesn't care to choose, just crash through his window.
No, it's pretty silly. There's a lot going on in this episode. It's pretty silly.
That's a good one, yeah. What about your scene?
My favorite scene. There's so many to choose from with that too. I'm gonna go with, toward the beginning of that episode, there's a safety issue, and Homer pinches some guy's butt. He's in the
chamber or whatever,
and he uses the robot hand to pinch this guy's butt, and it startles him, and then they have a leak, and then the gas comes through the window, and then Lenny and Carl were like, "Don't worry, the safety glass will protect us," and then the gas comes through the window, and then Lenny says, "Run! We'll hide at my house!" And then everybody's trying to get out the exit door, the fire exit.
But it's painted on.
So they don't even have a proper safety exits. Just silly. What about you?
So mine is the Joey JoJo scene.
Of course it
You
is.
knew it had to be. I quote it all the
know.
time. So Homer's at Moe's tavern and he's talking to Moe, and he's trying to be coy about his problem with Mindy. So he's saying, "I have a friend who's got a problem," and he tries to make up a name, and he says his name is Joey JoJo Junior Shabadoo, and Moe's is like, "That's the worst name I ever heard, Homer." And then there's this guy in the background drinking a beer, and when he hears Moe say that, he starts crying and gets up and running, and then Barney's like, "Hey, Joey JoJo!" So Moe insulted the real
Right.
Joey JoJo.
It's so brilliant too because I actually watched that character today, which I never usually do, but I watched the animation of that character today, and Homer's like, his name is Joey, and then his eyes come up, like he's drinking a beer, forlorn, and then his eyes come up, and then he's like, JoJo, and he's like, and like all shocked that.
I have a friend. Who is it?
Junior, and then Shubadoo, and then Moe says that's the worst thing. So then he bolts. So it's just like brilliant animation too, just because he starts out all slumped and then he's like, Joey, JoJo, Shubadoo, what's going on with me? And then out the door he goes.
Poor Joey JoJo.
I know.
So that takes us to winners and
Yep.
losers.
Well, let's go with your loser then.
My loser is actually not Joey JoJo, but it kind of goes back to one of your lines, and it's everyone at the nuclear power plant who drank out of the drinking fountain over the years.
Yep.
Because of that line, I can't pee in the drinking fountain if we have a woman working here. Not that I do that.
I mean, that goes along with the fact that they're not wearing pants when it's
Yeah.
hot, apparently. That's just easy aim.
That's another people that would lose is the no pants
Yep,
wearing.
it's true.
What about
That's
your
true.
loser?
Well, so Joey JoJo is an obvious choice. I'm going to go with the flying monkeys. Mr. Burns has a cage full of flying monkeys, just like in The Wizard of Oz. And he opens the cage and says, "Fly, monkeys, fly," because Homer and Mindy are ordering room service, and they get the alarm goes off in the Burns mansion that somebody's ordering room service. And not on my watch. Flying monkeys were not flying monkeys because they don't exist. So
They were just monkeys who
Uh,
fell
who-
off the second
who
floor window there.
fell out of the window, jumped out of the window. I don't know, but
They probably wanted to get away, so they jumped
Right,
out of
right.
the window. They're monkeys. They can, grab on the stuff and
Yep.
be agile. I think
you're going with they're fine.
I'm being optimistic.
Okay.
Who knows?
Be optimistic.
But they lose her anyway because they were stuck in cages
Right,
all the
right.
time. So, yeah. What about winner?
My winner, I'm going to go with Barney because he had some epic bar napkin wisdom that he
Mm-hmm.
shared with Homer during the Joey JoJo scene. So,
He was very wise,
very wise, very helpful, and
even though he got it off of a napkin.
he still sounded like he knew what he was talking about. What about you?
I'm going to go with Marge, but not for the reasons you probably think. It has nothing to do with, Homer coming around at the end. And it's because when she takes Bart to get, these tests and things, because he's got all of, his eye tests and stuff, she's talking to Dr. Hibbert, and Dr. Hibbert's like, "You do have insurance, right?" And he presses this button and a tube goes over Marge. And she's like, "Yes, okay." And then he hits it and the tube goes away. Well, we learned earlier that tube leads to some place in India or something where they make you dance on a table.
He got dropped by a tube.
So Marge just narrowly missed getting sucked up the tube.
It's true,
So
because she has health insurance.
because she has the insurance, so she's my winner for this one.
I had Martin down as my backup winner because he had a secret passageway to Nerd Kingdom.
Right. Bring me some prune juice and a hard-boiled egg for our friend. Yeah, he got to hand it to him. He built a sanctuary in school. I'll take it.
Pretty good. So, anything else you want to comment on?
Nah, good episode, classic episode. And,
Yep.
Lots of fun to be had. Watch it if you haven't seen it in a while.
Right.
It's definitely worth your time. Catch it on Disney Plus, Hulu, reruns, wherever you can find it.
DVDs.
DVDs.
Again, it's from 1993, season 5, episode 9, The Last Temptation of Homer. I just noticed your shirt, so I'm going to do a quick little PSA. I like this shirt.
Thank you.
I'm sitting next to the author of this book on his shirt, Rover.
Mm-hmm.
George.
This is the cover of the
George
book.
wrote it, so it's a great sci-fi novel, first in a series
Well, thank you.
of the Helen of Mars series, and it's available on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. There's actually a link on this YouTube page.
Cool.
Just click on it and it'll take you there.
Mm-hmm. And if you happen to live in the Canton, Ohio area, he will be doing a book signing on Saturday, September 25th at Price Park.
Mm-hmm.
So you can learn more about that by following George E.B. Author on Facebook and check it out. So that was my little plug for the day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So until next time,
Jiminy Chillikers!